All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. That's right, another one, guys. Hard to believe, I know. But today we're going to be checking out Rob Lucci. We're going to be revisiting Rob Lucci. I put out a video about a month ago. Yeah, I think about a month ago on Rob Lucci from OP07, and today we're gonna be extending it into OP08 as well. This will be a comprehensive deep dive style video. We're going to be analyzing decks from the East. Nothing from the West just yet, because guys, at the time of me recording this video, it is the 28th of June. So OP07 will be live, will be legal in the West today at the time of me recording this video. Okay, so there's nothing to really look at yet, just yet from the West. But that's okay. That's fine. We're going to check it out and see how things go as we get updated lists and everything. And I think Rob Lucci's going to do very well in the West, guys. I could be wrong, but I think this deck is going to perform very well. I think it's going to have a very solid, list of results, however you want to say it. Maybe not. We'll have to see. Maybe not. But you guys leave y'all's comment down in the comment section below. How good do you think Lucci will be in the format? I personally think he is in the at least A+ tier, right? S- tier, maybe A+ tier. I feel like he's knocking on the door with against Black Yellow Luffy and Red Purple Law. Now, that is one thing we're going to talk about as we get more into this video. It does have a very rough matchup into Black Yellow Luffy, but we're going to talk about ways how he might be able to get around that. Okay, so that's that. That's the intro. Let me tell you guys what we're getting into today. First, we are going to check out the deck list from the East, like I said, OP07 and OP08. Okay. Then from OP0 and from all the deck lists and all the meta from the East, then we're going to go over to 5 games on the sim. We will check out the list I'm running, and then we will wrap everything up with an art critique. All right, so you know what you're getting into. Let's go ahead and dive into this. Let me sit up in my chair. Let me get ready for this myself. And yeah, Rob Lucci, here we are. Like I said, guys, black is the color that kind of got me into this game. I've said that many times, and this leader, this one's right up my alley, I have to say. I play a lot of off-meta stuff, making these different videos, trying to put decks together. It's a challenge to me. I enjoy doing it. But then, man, I play this deck, and it's like, holy cow. It sure is nice having like all these different answers. It sure is nice having cards that are just extremely well, balanced around each other, and there's like a ton of balance in the deck, synergy rather, like combo synergy and everything. It just feels really good, and it was a breath of fresh air for me personally, because like I said, I play so much off meta stuff. Excuse me, to swap gears from that over to this was like, oh man, this is nice. It's like a luxury almost, right? Okay, so let's get into this, guys. Very solid deck. I think it's going to do very well in the format. The first list we're going to look at is from OP07. It's from Thailand. It was back in April 27th. Remember, the East is about 3.5 months ahead of us. Okay, guys, don't forget. This was at a 300-player tournament, second place at a flagship there for, again, a 300-player tournament. Let's read what the leader does first, and then we'll blast through the list. So 5,000 power, 5 life. You may trash... when attacking, the effect is when attacking, you may trash the top 2 cards of your deck and give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost for the turn. Like, only -1? Yes, only -1, because that's probably all you'll need. That's 10% of the biggest character's cost, you know what I mean? So that it actually adds up very quickly over the course of the game. Now, let me read through this, and I'll talk more about it, guys. So this list is running 3 Borsalinos, 3 Surus, 2 Ishos, 3 Kaku, 3 Khalifa, 4 Spandam, 2 Sabo, 3 Rebecca, 3 Rob Lucci, 4 Gecko Moria, 1 Hogback, 4 Brook, 2 Spandine, 2 Sabo, 2 Kaku, 1 Stussy, 2 Ice Age, 1 Innie's Lobby. Only 1 Innie's Lobby. That's crazy. And then 4 Tempest Kick. So there's only 3 cards in this entire list that are 4-ofs, and they are the best cards in the deck. You have Spandam. It's just a very cheap searcher. Fills up your trash too. Gecko Moria, for obvious reasons. And then, of course, 4 Tempest Kicks. And then there's one other 4-of. Sorry, I almost missed it. Brook. Now, remember what I was saying in the intro. I think I said it in the intro. I could be wrong, but I think I said it in the intro. Black Yellow Luffy is a very, very tough matchup. Well, guess what? Brook is probably the best answer you're going to have against that. There is another option. I'll try to remember to bring it up when we get to the deck, the deck breakdown after the games on the sim. But the other option is a card called Luffy. Well, it's people call it Zombie Luffy. Sorry. But we will look at that if I remember. Sometimes I do forget, guys. But we'll try and look at that towards the end of the video. But it is a 5 cost, 6,000 power, 1k counter Luffy card that has, when attacking, it has the ability to trash a 2 cost or lower character. So, you throw the you just put -3 Dawn, or you put up to -3 cost on a character, which is very easy to do in this deck with a single Tempest kick. And then you can start trashing Black Yellow Luffy's 5-cost characters. It's better than nothing. It's still not even that great, right? It's still not even that great because, okay, they'll just bring it back from the trash in the next turn. But the idea is you go wide enough, you get them down to 0 life, you trash their defenders, and then you start swinging through for lethal. But whatever the case is, this card, Brook, is very solid for that because it has on play, choose one, put up to one of your opponent's characters that cost 4 or less into their trash. I like this one a little better than Zombie Luffy, but I understand why Zombie Luffy is considered a little better in other decks because Zombie Luffy has a 1k counter on the side. Brook does not, but Brook only requires you to attack one time, right? He just requires you to play him, whereas Zombie Luffy requires you to attack one time. Who's to say you're going to get that attack off? You know what I mean? Will it be too little, too late, or what? That becomes the issue. Whereas Brook's like, okay, I'm just going to drop this. It hits a 4 by itself. So if I just attack with my leader and fill up my trash, remember, whenever you attack, fill up your trash 2 cards, and then -1 to the cost of a character for the turn, then I can pop a 5 or less with this Brook, even if they cannot be KO'd like Sabo, because it trashes the character. It does not KO it. Okay, there is a distinction there. But yeah, that's really the main thing about this list. Everything else is pretty straightforward, guys. I think this is what a lot of people have expected to see. I have done a video on this already, and I will link it in the comment section below, talking about OP07 Lucci and how it performs. You know, and that's a whole other deep dive video I've done just about a month ago on this leader. And I think I might even go over this list in that video. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I go over a list that's very similar, if not the exact same as this one, kind of going into detail. Well, guys, everything else in here is pretty self-explanatory. This is the new Great Eruption. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but it is very similar. 1 cost, main, draw 1 card. Then, if your trash has 10 or more cards in it, give up one of your opponent's characters -3 cost for the turn. Trigger pops a 3 or less. All around a great card. Ice Age, remember, this trigger also pops a 3 or less. And then give up one of your characters -5 for the turn. He runs 2 of those, 4 Tempest Kicks, and 1 Innie's Lobby. I got to do a little miniature rant on this. When I build Lucci, I am going Innie's Lobby. I think this is the card you mulligan for. I will mulligan if you guys will see in the game today. If this card's not in my opening hand, I don't care if Spandam's in my opening hand because it can't search this card. This is a world government stage, so you can't search it up with Spandam, you can't search it up with Brand New, you can't search it up with any of the, the current searchers in the game. But who cares? I'm going to search for this card in my opening hand. If I don't get it, I'm just going to mulligan. Because unless I just get like an incredible pull, that's different, right? If you just get like an incredible pull, keep it. But generally speaking, I am going to mulligan for this card. I think it's that good. I think it's that important. And another thing that I do that is not in this list is I run Brook. I think Brook, because think of it like this, guys. I've mentioned this before in previous videos. Rebecca, Gecko, Brook is a match made in heaven. If you can also tack onto that a leader that does -1 cost and a stage that does -2 every turn, that's outrageously good, right? Because now you're getting value. You can counter out with your Brook. Let him KO the Brook. Who cares? Let the Brook go to the trash because you're just going to bring it back with Rebecca. And then with the Brook, you're going to be popping a 4 or less every turn. Later in the game, comes back again. It just never goes away. It becomes this nuisance on the board that just never goes away. And of course, I love the 4 Tempest Kick. I think this card is outstanding. It's stellar. And guys, to be completely honest, this card is completely turned on by like turn 3 or 4. Because remember, attacking twice with your leader, and you're pretty much halfway there. You'll get to 4. And then if you're countering out, if they're KOing your cards and all that, everything that happens in the game, playing out Sabo once you do get to 5 Dawn, even playing out Khalifa, this is a good card to just play out, to draw 2, trash 2 to fix your hand. Even though it's a 2k counter, who cares? Get on the board. It's 1k under from swinging at a standard power leader. So really good stuff there. Kaku as well. This is another thing. Like, okay, how do I say this? I think at the list I'm running today, I don't think I'm running Stussy. Because I just don't need to. If I need to pop anything, I think I am running Sabo. But if I need to pop anything, Innie's Lobby is -2, Leader is -1. So 7 is the highest card I need to pop. So if I just have a single, let's just say I have like Tempest Kick, right? Well, now I'm popping anything that, like, I need to just get 4 more to be able to pop anything in the game. But that's hitting up to a 6, what I just said. And that's massive. So then Brook would be able to hit a 7 with that effect. Now, yeah, it's true if you're trying to hit something even bigger, that's where Helmeppo comes into play. And this list is so all over the place, it can't even fit Helmeppo in. It's really... Now, there is one card missing. It does say it's only 50 cards. So maybe there is a Helmeppo missing. Or a Brook missing. I don't even know. It's hard to say. You guys tell me what y'all think's missing in the comment section below. But whatever the case is, you know, this deck is all over the place. And yes, I think this deck functions very well. I mean, obviously, it got second place in a 300-player tournament. But the reason it's still so consistent while having so many 2-ofs, 3-ofs, and even 1-ofs, that didn't have a few. It had one Stussy, one Innie's Lobby. The reason it functions so well is because it's filling up its trash so quickly with the leader effect, with Spandam, with Khalifa, with Sabo. It's just filling the trash, just filling it. And that, in return, is helping out your Gecko Moria and your Rebecca. So really good stuff here. This deck is built very well, to deal with Black Yellow Luffy. Not to say it's going to beat it every time, but it's built very well to deal with Black Yellow Luffy because of Brook. And then the rest, I think, you do what you got to do. That's another thing I have to mention, since he is running the stage. Okay, with my leader attack and the stage, and hitting a 4 or less, I could hit a 7 or less with this Brook alone. So very good stuff. Very good stuff. And it trashes it. Remember that, guys. It trashes it completely. Okay, we have Isho as well. If you can establish Isho with everything we just said, -3 here, -3 for the leader plus the stage. That's hitting 6. I mean, you guys see where this is going. And then you add a Tempest Kick to that, and you're hitting anything. Okay, so that's the first list we were going to look at. That was from OP07 from the East. Now, let's take a look at the direction it goes in OP08. Not much has changed, by the way. Not much has changed, but there are 2 major cards that we're going to... 3, actually, even though this is an older card we'll look at in a second. But look at this list, guys. This is going to be very similar to what I'm running. This got first place at a Fukuoka. Did I say it right, guys? I did look it up. I did look it up, and some people were trying to help me in the comment section below. But for Fukuoka, this got first place, okay? 500-player tournament. It beat a Red Purple Law in the finals. I know for the people who watch it, they're like, yeah, but he got lucky. People are saying he got lucky and stuff. It's cards, man. That's card. I don't know what to say. I know what you're saying as well. Like, I get what's being implied. But at the same time, this is cards, after all. And he didn't just make it to first place out of luck. He might have won the final game because of some lucky, circumstances. But generally speaking, you don't just get to first place because you were lucky, right? All right, so anyway. So check it out, guys. I'm going to run through the list and we'll talk about it. Put the old glasses on here. 3 Vorselino, 1 Helmeppo, 3 Suru, 3 Kaku, 4 Khalifa, 4 Spandam, 3 Rebecca, 4 Lucci, 4 Gecko, 2 Spandine, 2 Brook. Only 2. I like going up this number. 4 Jack. That part seems a little crazy to me, but I get it. 2 Who's Who. We'll talk about these 2 in just a second. 6 King's Gun. I think it's 6 King Pistol. I think it's called 6 King Pistol is the technical name, but they're calling it 6 King's Gun. I can't remember. 4 Innie's Lobby. Now we're talking. 4 of these. That's what I like to see. And then, of course, 4 Tempest Kick. Really solid. Now, let's talk about some changes that are going on. Everything else we saw up there we've seen in the other list. And if you have any comments or questions, suggestions, or whatever, especially on cards, please put it down in the comment section below. Like, if you don't know what Helmeppo does, say something in the comment section below, or just look it up. Or go on OnePieceTopDecks.com where I'm at and check it out there. But we have to look at 2 cards in particular and a third one in just a second here. Jack. This card comes out in OP08. This is every turn I get to KO a character card. It is a 7-cost, 8,000 power character, but get this, the character costs +4. So in other words, you play it for 7, and then it acts as an 11-cost character. So it's an 11-cost, 8,000 power character, basically, right? And then activate main, you can rest this character to draw a card and then trash a card from your hand, and then after that, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 3 or less. So guys, with the stage, you're hitting a 5 or less. Then with the with the leader, you're hitting a 6 or less. If you combo all that together, leader plus stage plus the Jack, you're hitting a 6 or less very easily every single turn while cycling a card. This guy, I like this card a lot, but I don't know if I like it as a 4 of. I'll probably be running it as a 2 or a 3 of, but I think this card is very, very good. Then we have Who's Who. This is a new 2K counter. This is an Animal Kingdom Pirates card, and this part's not correct down here. I believe it's also former CP. We will talk about that more in a second, but that is relevant. That is relevant. Okay, because I think there's an error that happens in one of my... We'll talk about that when we get to it. So this is a 5-cost, 5,000 power 2K counter. On play, you can trash a card from your hand and KO a 3 or less. Okay, trigger KOs a 3 or less. So in this deck, we've got Who's Who popping a 3 or less from the trigger, and Tempest Kick popping a 3 or less from the trigger. Just really strong potential coming out of your life. Now, 6 King Pistol. This can draw a card from trigger and potentially pop a 1 or less, which is fine. But check out this counter, guys. You may trash 1 card from your hand. Up to one of your leader or characters gains plus 3,000 power for the turn. It's a 0 cost 3K, and it's CP searchable, guys. Now, one thing I do want to mention, we have to talk about, because I think it does pop up in one of the games that I play. Y'all give me just a second to bring this over, guys. Okay, so we're on the, this is the Asia-English One Piece card list database. Let's type in who, let me just type in who, go to black, search, card type, all, okay. So here we go. This is a former CP, okay? Now, let's look up Spandam, because in the game, in one of the games we're going to see today, I don't think it should get it, but it does. Well, no, it can. It absolutely can, because look at this, guys. So that translation we just saw on this website, let me move this over so I don't lose the site. This translation is incorrect, okay? Now, yes, you do have to have a leader that has CP in its type to use this effect, which is ridiculous. I'm sorry. To me, personally, it's ridiculous, and I've complained about it since I started playing the game, you know, when the card was first released. But then it does a top 3 search of your deck with a card with CP in its types other than Spandam. And yes, that does matter for rule purposes, because certain cards we're going to look at in a second cannot do the same thing. Because look at this. Reveal up to 1 card with a type including CP, in quotations, other than Spandam and add it to your hand. Why is that relevant, especially for the newer players? Let me show you something, guys. There's a card named Brand New. Most people know this does. Watch this. Look at 3 cards with from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Navy type card. Not with a type with Navy included, or a card with Navy included in its types with Navy in quotations. This has the winged brackets, and that means you can't search up a former card such as Kuzan. I have mentioned this before, but it does not work for Brand New. You can't, even though this card says former Navy, it has Navy in its type. It doesn't matter, because it is looking for a card with specifically Navy. Not former Navy, but like actual, like the specific type of Navy in its types. Whereas Spandam is looking up, let me bring it up one more time. Spandam is searching for a card that has CP included in its types. So that also applies to Who's Who. Let me type up who. I'll just do it like that. There we go. This guy is former CP. So it does work. Even though I know that was probably super confusing. I know my translation was also very, very clumsy, but hopefully you guys see what I'm saying. It's pretty straightforward, believe it or not, especially when you look at the rulings on it, which you can look at if you want to. Go over to the rules, click the comprehensive rules guide here. Okay, this is the Japanese one, so it'll be very hard. I don't know how to search for it on this one. I guess I can still Control F find it. Let's do type. Okay, types. Okay, and then it talks about right here. See, theirs is not the same because they have these weird brackets, like these ones like this. So I can't show you on here. But if you look it up on the English version, it is very straightforward. Look up types and how it goes about it. And if you have any questions, put it in the comment section below. Okay, sorry about that quick, confusing aside there, but we did have to talk about that because it will come up in a game. Now, as far as this list goes, everything else is very straightforward. I love the way Brook works currently in a list that's running this leader and this Innie's lobby, or this stage, because what is happening is you're able to hit a 4 or less. A 4, guys. This is a 2, leader's a 1, and Brook hits 1 as well. And then it hits a 0 or less, right? So it's like you're doing -4 every turn to pop something, and you're getting this back all the time with cards like Rebecca and cards like Gecko Moria. It is just so, so powerful. Okay, so that's it really for the lists. This is kind of how they all look. We can look at other ones as well. This is the first place one we just looked at. Let's just look at this. Here's a second place one at Thailand GAO, whatever that is. And again, this is running Helmeppo. I believe, was the other list running Helmeppo? I'm sorry, guys. We actually have to look right now. I'm pretty sure it was right at the top. Yeah. Helmeppo is such a massive card with the whole engine I just said. Brook can be played out from Rebecca. Gecko Moria can snag back Rebecca to do what I just said, grabbing back the Brook. And for the 2-cost card that Gecko grabs back, you grab Helmeppo. And now, think about this, guys. If you swing with the leader, that's -1. If you have the stage, that's -2 more, so we're at -3. Brook was able to hit a 4 now just from that alone. Add 3 more to that from the Helmeppo, you're hitting a 7. then if you have to, if it's like a 9 or 10 Dawn turn, add a Tempest Kick, you're hitting a 10. Like, that's how powerful that effect is, guys. It is that powerful. Now, this list is running Soap Sheep, which I do find interesting. The trigger is your opponent trashes a card, just like Great Eruption was, right? But check this out, guys. Up to 2 of your opponent's characters gain -2 cost during this turn. Okay, well, that's going to help out your Rob Lucci. I think this is a little too extra. I don't think this card... Like, if I were to make an immediate revision to this deck, this would now be 6 King Pistol. That's, like, the only revision that I think we even saw in the other deck, right? Because I think everything else in this list was pretty similar to the other list we saw that actually got first place. I think if you just swap this one card out for... what was it? 6 King Pistol... then I think this list is pretty much, number one, it's pretty much the same. But number two, it's just that much better. Really, really good stuff here. Like, this list is very solid. Okay. All right, and that's it, guys. That's it for the list. Let's go ahead and hop into some games on the sim. We got some good ones. Got some good ones here, guys. Got some fun ones. First up, we got Vegapunk. And I know a lot of people don't like when I play off-meta stuff, but guys, I'm just trying to... Whoops, I forgot to maximize, then adjust my face. There we go. I know people get upset when I don't do... just meta matchups, but guys, you know, it's fun to watch these other ones too. Okay, so here we go. Volume is off, speed on 2x. Let's go. 2x speed here. Vegapunk, Lucci versus Vegapunk. Vegapunk is by no means like a really solid deck. It has a lot of potential, but it's not there yet. Spandam Search, I go ahead and snag, what was it, Khalifa. Got some type of CP card off that. He's going to swing 8 into me. I'll take it, and okay, hits Innie's Lobby. We'll take it every single time. Innie's Lobby just makes such a huge difference, guys. Now, right here, it is hard to hit a 5-cost character this early in the game. 4-cost is not as bad, because I can hit a 4-cost right now with my Broke with Innie's Lobby and my leader, right? That is possible currently. But hitting a 5-cost is a little bit more difficult. Okay, so right here, I think I'm just going to attack face. Yeah, because so for those who do not know, that card that is sideways, I think their name is Atlas. You cannot KO them in battle if you have less life. If they have less life than you. Okay? So right here, I just go ahead and play out a Brook. I want him to swing into that Brook because I have Gecko Mori in hand. Perfect. My Brook, now I'm probably going to block this with Rebecca and make him swing into it again. Perfect. This right here acts as like, I really considered saving it. You saw that? But there's no reason to save that card right there. It acted as a 2k counter. You see what I mean? Because they swung 6 into it. So it acted as a 2k counter. I'm still at 4 life. I'm going to bring it back in 2 more turns with Gecko. So we're fine. Okay, if I need to. One thing about Soap Sheep, I will say that we looked in that last list, is it does go very well with Rob Lucci, right? The actual character. The actual character, the 4-cost character, Rob Lucci. Soap Sheep is very nice for that. Okay, so I'm just going to swing 6 into my opponent's hand, or 7 into my opponent's Luffy. He only has 5 cards in hand, so he doesn't really want to give me a 2k counter, and I also hit it with a -1 cost from Lucci. Then I use the stage, and I'm just going to pop 1 character with Lucci here. It's all I can do. I still need to develop a board. I need to keep going. You know what I mean? You have to keep progressing. You have to keep getting some kind of board state, or Vegapunk will go super wide, or like super tall with life. As weird as that sounds, they'll get all this life on you, and the life cards they're putting in are going to turn into characters on the board from the triggers. So you have to be very careful. You do have to keep your pedal to the metal, so to speak, right? Okay, so right here, I'm just going to keep going for board. I don't really care about his life just yet. Once I get board control, I can start messing with his life. So right here, instead of playing out the Gecko Moria, I'd rather pop his 2 biggest characters, and I swing 5 into Edison. Technically, I should have done that first to try and get cards out of hand, but that's okay. He didn't counter out of it anyway. And right here, he has he played out the Yamato. Yamato, how did he get... Oh, I attacked into him to get that other card. I was like, wait, did I miss something? And yeah. So he got that card from when I swung into him, I think. And let's see what he has here. So right here, I have 10 Dawn. I can do pretty much anything I want to except remove that Yamato unless I really try to dig for it. And I think I am trying to do the math right now. Okay, and that was what I needed to see was the Kaku. That was perfect. Otherwise, I was just going to go about it. Yeah, I was probably just going to play out whatever from my trash with Gecko Moria, establish a body. But because I can just get rid of this Yamato now, like, very easily with my Kaku, like, that's... What more do I need to do? So I'm counting up here. I can put 3 Dawn into Spandam, swing at life. Okay, get a card out of hand or get his last life. And then I'm going to pop the Yamato. Okay, very solid. Get rid of that. And now I'm swinging in for 9. Your turn. My opponent's in a very bad spot. It's not over anything, but he's not in the greatest spot. 5 into 2, you can have that thing all day. 6 into life here. I could easily counter out of this, but did you see my mouse go back and forth? I was like, you know, I could probably draw a card here. And he was trying to get 2K counters out of my hand to play the ace out to attack into my Sabo. I'm going to swing 9 into him there. He does pop my span down, but I'm going to swing 16 at face. He only has 5 cards. GG. That was a good game. Okay. Vegapunk is getting better and better each set with some of these new cards, these new game life cards, but I think he's just still so far behind currently. He just needs, you know, way more extra help, way more extra support. All right. Next up, we have Red Purple Luffy. This is a deck that I think is, like, I think some people might consider this off meta, but this is at the very top end of off meta, if it is even considered that, in OP07. The list I'm playing with today, I think, it might be OP08. I can't remember. Oh, excuse me. I do remember. The first 2 games are OP07, and I think the last 3 games are OP08, because we have 5 games. All right. So right here, I'm just going to try to pop this Nami with Brook, I think. Like, okay, he's swinging for 6 here, then swing for 5. Sure. I can 2K counter, or I actually have 2 Kakus, so perfect. Right here, swing 6 at life. Use my effect, -1 to Nami. That didn't matter. I didn't need that, but Brook's going to come out, pop that. And now I'm threatening a board, like something to pop something on your board every turn now with my Brook. So if he tries to play out something like a, I'm going to 2K counter out of this. If he plays out something really cheap, I can get rid of it very easily. Now he plays that out, and I can actually get rid of this pretty easily as well, right? Okay, now I don't remember what I do this turn, but I could very easily, okay, I'm -1 there. I think I'm going to play out the Kaku. Yep, swing 6 into face. So I did -1 with Brook. That attack fizzled because it wasn't big enough to go over. I swing 6 into face to get a card out of hand, -2 to the Luffy, and I'm establishing a Kaku. The other option there would have been try to take it out with the smaller characters, but I need to get some bodies on the board. He can have the Brook. That card, you know, it kind of already did it. It already served its purpose. Now, here's the nice thing about this new Sabo card. You know, a lot of people might think like, oh, okay, I'm going to save Sabo to get a double whammy. You don't have to. I'm just going to get rid of this massive character and establish board control in this way. I have a 9K on the board now. Got rid of Rebecca that I'm getting back next turn with my Gecko Mori if I need it. And now I'm going to be on a 10-dawn turn as well, so I can combo even more stuff with my Gecko. Now, right here, he's probably going to swing into my Kaku. I think that's smart. Yeah, you saw me pointing at it with the mouse. That is the right call there. I get an Innie's Lobby off the top. It really feels bad when you get Innie's Lobby later in the game, but it's also not the worst thing in the world. Okay, I think I'm trying to figure out a way on how to deal with this this Newgate. Because, man, this card is an absolute nuisance. I'm going to swing 5, -1 to the cost, trash top 2 of my deck. I'm trying to see what all I have in here. Sorry, guys. That's what's taking me so long with this play. I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this, right? So I'm going to swing 9. I don't think I have what it takes to KO the Newgate this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and play out Gecko to get back Rebecca and Spandam. I'm going to get what I need from that. It was a straight whiff. I couldn't get any of those cards. Get Rebecca, pull back the Brook, play out the Spandam, and I have the Brook in hand still from that effect. And now I'm going to play out the stage, preparing for next turn. I have 2 9Ks on the board now. I have a blocker, even though it can be very easily dealt with. And yeah, like I'm feeling okay about this, to be honest. I am feeling okay about this. Now, he can easily pop my Rebecca here, but I don't think he does. He chooses to pop one of my my one-cost characters. I don't know if he was trying to bait me into... I don't know what he was trying to do there. I'm going to be honest, guys. I think it was just a straight-up play mistake to not pop my Rebecca there. But again, I don't know what's in my opponent's hand. I'm just going to try to win this game, right? That's all that's going through my head. So he has 1 Dawn active. I can not count... Actually, I probably could have countered out of that, but it would have taken every card in my hand. Yeah, 9 into 13 had been 2, 2, and 1. Yeah, so and I had 2 and 3 ones. So I could have, but it would have cost me my whole hand. It's like, no, I'm not in any rush this game. I'm at 3 life. I have another 9K on the board, and I'm just going to try and go out winning the game this way. So -3, and then -3 more to the Newgate. 3 from the Tempest Kick. Excuse me. 3 from the leader plus stage. He's at 3 now, and I can bust out Helmeppo, give him -3 more, play out the Rebecca, grab a 2K from hand or whatever, or a Sabo. I think I grab a Sabo, cheating out the Brook, trashing that card, going 10 into face here, or 11, excuse me, I can't count. Swinging 11 at face, your turn. I have a full board. What is your play here, sir? This is an awful position to be in. Okay, gets a Radical Beam from the Nami. Oh, and the first Nami got a guard point. I do remember that. So I know he has one Rad Beam and one guard point in hand, just from the knowledge of the two Nami searches. I do remember that from playing the game. Right here, I'm going to swing 6, pop the Nami. That is an awful number to swing at for them. Like, they hate that, having to counter out of these. Like, look, he had a 2K counter, and I swung at it for 6. So that's just a horrible feeling. It's like, oh, you got a 2K counter, son. Okay, well, swing into it. He takes it. Now, right here, you'd think, like, you know, why not try to go for a game? It's like, no, I know I can't go for a game. I'd rather eat up one of his big events here. Swing for 11. So it's going to cost a 4K and a 2K, or take it. That's fine, too. Okay, so he plays out Eustace Kid here to go up to 7,000 power. And plays out Nami to get a card. I don't remember. I don't know why I didn't look at it. Sometimes I forget to mouse over it. Okay, swing 7 into 4. I can counter out this with a 2K, you know, blocking 2K here. I don't know if I should have, looking back, but we did it anyway. Oh, well. Yeah, like, looking back, I just don't think I should have done it. I mean, why would I care about the Nami? You know what I mean? That's the idea here. I'm going to swing 9 into 7. That's going to cost a guard point, or, okay, it gives me a guard point. We'll take it. He's down to 4 cards. And now I just need to keep mashing 7s. You know what I mean? I need to keep swinging for 7, or try to develop the board, or at least remove this Eustace Kid. And I think that's my goal here, is I'm going to try to remove the Eustace Kid. So I swing 4 into 7. It's going to fizzle, but I can -1 to the cost of a character. By the way, what I should have done there... No, excuse me. I had to do it like that to get rid of the Nami. So I'm going to attack 7 into face here. We'll do -1 to the character. Or I chose not to, actually. I actually chose not to remove the cost. Okay, and then they just give up. So, yeah, they had double Rad Beam and a whatever this is called, Gum Gum Jet Gatling. They're like, you know what? I can't win this game. And look what their next top deck was. It was literally a Sanji. It's just not going to do it. You know, it's just not going to do for him. Because their best play next turn would be to smash in to try to get rid of my Gecko Moria and my Brook. I would let Brook go, and I could literally block out of Gecko Moria and probably even counter out of one of the attacks potentially. Okay, good game. Red-Purple Luffy is very strong, though, guys. Red-Purple Luffy is very solid. All right, next up, we got Boa Hancock here. This is another strong deck in OP07, guys. Like, it's really good stuff here. I'll probably mess around more with Doffy than I will with Boa, but that's just because I like the more mid-range tempo style play that Doffy offers. Okay, so right here I get the ideal start with going second, turn 1, drop the stage. I'm on the even curve and everything. This is a very, very, very good start. Okay, so they drop down a, what's his name? A Doflamingo. And they're just taking a second to arrange the top 5 of their deck. Excuse me. Okay, let's see what they do. Okay, pass it back. My turn. My hand is not exactly great, but I swing 5 at leader and I do -1 to the Doffy. I'm hoping that they will block with it. They don't take the bait, so I do kind of feel obligated to remove this. But I don't want to use my what's his name? I don't want to use my Lucci yet. I think it's too early to pull the trigger on that. I want to be able to get I want to be able to 2-for-1 my opponent with Lucci, especially now that I've also drawn a Sabo. So I'll have 2-for-1s with these cards, which is very, very good. Okay, swings in for 5. I think I took that. My turn, draw a card for the turn. I didn't see how many cards were in my trash. One thing to understand about these cards that require a certain amount of cards in your trash. So Tempest Kick requires you to have 10 cards in your trash in order to get the -3 as well as the draw card. Well, if you're at 9 and you use this effect, it does count as the 10th one, just so you're aware for any of the newer players. I swing 5 at the leader. They block with Boa because I threatened to remove the Boa with my -1 cost to it. Swing for 5 more with my what's her name? My Khalifa. I'm going to play out the Who's Who, pop this guy. I trash the 0-cost 6 King pistol because I'm trying to take the initiative here. I'm trying to get on the offensive. He does Gecko Moria, grabbing back Doffy, playing out Doffy, setting his top 5. It's just not as strong, though, in this deck. Like, it's not that it's bad. It's just it's so much better, I feel like, in... and I actually countered out of that, by the way, because I want to keep the pressure on here. Swing 5. Let's see what they give me. Okay. And then let's swing for 5 more. I'm deciding, like, wait, how do I want to do this? Let me make sure I have everything I need on the field to do this. Okay, swing 5 more, and then we'll -1 to the whatever his name is there. Yep, and then -2 there. We'll play out Jack. We'll pop it, and he just leaves. Dude just straight up leaves. And, guys, I'm not going to lie. That was not the worst thing to do for him, because I will be on 10 Dawn next turn. They will be on 9. They cannot even, they can't use this card. Kaido, the 2 Kaidos are dead in hand right now. The Gravity Blade Raging Tiger, sure, if you want to remove these 2 cards from the board, which will probably be the best play, you can absolutely do that. But on the following turn, I'm just going to start going through so much of my deck. It's just going to be really hard to deal with. They left there. I respect that. I think they left a little early. I don't think the game was over yet, but they were definitely in a very bad position. Because, look at what's in my hand, guys. Like, oh, you play out a Kaido, right? You can't even bounce Jack, because Jack's a 11 cost on the field. So I can literally pop Kaidos with Tempest Kicks and what's on the field. Yeah, that's wild. Okay. All right, we got 2 more games. Next up, we've got Yamato. Now, I think this is the game where it's going to be relevant, what I was saying, the search with Spandam. 2x speed, we're good to go. You love to see the turn 1 getting the Innie's Lobby into play. Okay, I go ahead and take this first hit from Yamato because it is an attack for 8. It is what it is. Excuse me. One thing I will say about Yamato is you probably should take the first hit, because as long as it's not with Banish, you just want to try to stay with the Banish. I've learned that the hard way, guys. I've had to learn that the hard way. That's all I'm going to say. I try to take my first hit against Yamato and just try to get out of any kind of Banish attack. Swing for 10. Now, this one I'm not as keen on taking, right? It's like, no, let's go ahead and go up to 8 here and then do another double 6 King pistol to go to 11. That wasn't too bad. It cost me 4 cards from hand, but they have nothing on the board. I still have 3 life. I'm getting closer to my 8 Dawn turn where I can start getting cards back from the trash. Swing there. Gets the Shirahoshi trigger. Go figure. It is what it is. Bust out the Rebecca here. And I think I'm going to grab back probably my blocker. Yeah, I think I'm going to need a blocker next turn for this. Now, this is a situation where it's like, wait a minute. You swung for 5. I probably should have countered out, to be honest. But they have so many ways of tapping down the 4-cost characters, I'd rather just save the card. Okay, right here they play out Denjiro. That card cannot be KO'd by effects if your opponent has 3 or less life, I believe is the wording. So we're going to swing 5 into 5, get a card out of hand or a card from life. They gave us a card from hand. We're going to play out our, what's his name here? Our Gecko Moria. We're going to get back that Rebecca. We're going to do the top 3 search with Spandam first. Then we're going to get Rebecca back. We'll grab a card from the hand. I'm thinking about getting Jack there. I don't think Jack's that good in this matchup, though. I get the 2K counter. I think that was definitely the right call there. Jack in this matchup, I'm on a clock, right? I'm on a clock where it's like, okay, if I need to remove something, I have other means. I even have 2K counters now that can remove stuff. I have a 5-cost Kaku in hand. I don't need removal right now. I need blockers. I need 2K counters. For that reason, right there. Smash in for 9. I think I might take this. I can't remember. 2, 2, 1. Nope, I decided, you know what? I'm not taking this. No thanks. Swing in for 10. I'll take that one because it only hits me for 1. That's fine. It's not double attack. Okay, and now, my turn. It's kind of like, I feel like it's time to start cleaning up the board a little bit. Like, that's my logic here. Okay? So I think what I do is I swing 6 into the Denjiro, -1 to the Izo, and now I can -2 more to the Izo. Yep, with the stage, and now start swinging at life, -1, popping the Izo. I have a blocker still. I'm at 2 life. I'm feeling pretty good about this, right? I feel like I'm in a decent position. Swing 5 into here. I'm just getting all the value I can. Swing 9 with my Gecko Moria. Play out Sabo. Now I'm feeling very good. I have 3 2K counters in hand and a Sabo. By the way, I think I forgot to mention, I already forgot to mention, one of my Spandams was able to search up that Husu. So, good stuff there. Now it's my opponent's turn. They have 10 Dawn. I'm at 2 life. I have 2 blockers. They're just going to smash for 11. Here you go. Here's a blocker. By all means, I am completely fine with that. Now, it's very important here against, what is this called? Against, Yamato. Don't rush. There's no reason to rush right here. Okay? There's absolutely no reason to rush. Like, why would I go all in here? I have another Sabo in hand. I have what I have on the board. I'd rather just get all the value that I can from this. I'm going to swing 5. I'm not popping those Shirahoshis. I'm not giving them more life. Look what they just did. They played out Flame Split. They tapped down my guy. I'm going to swing 9 now with my Gecko. I'm going to swing for 9 more with my leader. And I'm dropping another blocker. Okay, here we go. And now they are on lethal. Like they are in trouble. Now you have to play. I'm forcing them to play Hody Jones right here, or some way of gaining life, something, right? Yeah, and they have Hody Jones, very solid. 8's not going to do it. Double 2K out. I had 3K more to get out of. You know what I mean? Even if they had and then he's going to swing. Then he swings 10 into my 9. I 2K counter out. The game's over. GG. No way out of it from there, right? No way out of it. Notice this deck was experimenting with the new Nami, and it was also running the 9 cost Zoro. Man, 9 cost Zoro is so strong, but I don't know if it's the way to go with Green Yellow Yamato. I think if I was playing Green Yellow Yamato, even in OP08, I would probably be building more fortressy with all the Land of Wano stuff, like because you're going to be able to gain life like crazy. It just seems stronger. I don't know. I always talk to Mike. If you're listening, shout out to Mike, my buddy at Locals. We're always talking about Yamato. We're always talking about how, like, you know, there's so many ways to play it. There is no right or wrong way to play it. There's so many ways. But this version, I don't like it as much as I like the more fortressy, tanky build of Yamato. Okay, but that's just, you know, player preference. All right, last up here, we got a game against Green Purple Doffy, and I think this is actually very relevant, a very relevant game, because Green Purple Doffy is very solid into Red Purple Law. So if you're trying to not lose to Red Purple Law, this is not a bad option. This is not a bad option for you. Playing Sugar this early is crazy, okay? Like, that is not the way to go, in my personal opinion. I would not be playing Sugar this early. Smash in there. I do a double Tempest Kick right here to draw 2 cards, fill up my trash. I'm trying to get through my deck and, like, start, you know, fixing my hand. He's going to swing for 5. I need to give him a 1K here. I fill up my trash with a Helmeppo. That's perfect. And he plays out Birdcage. You know, the best way to play around Birdcage is just completely ignore it. I'm going to swing for 7 here. He has 2 Dawn active. Who cares about Punk Gibson because my other character's already rested. His turn. He plays out Eustace Kid. Swing for 6. Take this. I probably could have countered out with the Khalifa, but I think it's not too bad to draw a card there. Okay, so right here I do want that Eustace Kid off the board. Not because I care about Birdcage staying active. I actually don't care about Birdcage at all. As you saw, I just swung for 6 right away right there. Got a card out of hand. You can have that card. It's fine with me. I'm going to -2 with the stage, play out another stage, -2 more, -1 with my leader effect, and I'm just going to drop down a Kaku right here and pop the Eustace Kid. Get that off the board. I want to keep board control. You can attack into my guys all you want to. You can rest them down all you want to. But I just want to make sure you have nothing on the board. And that's how this deck plays. That's how Mono Black Lucci, you know, control plays, whatever you want to call it. It's like a mid-range control deck. Just make sure you remove their characters every single turn or something similar in value. Okay, so right here, I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I kind of want to establish my Gecko Moria as soon as possible, but will there be enough value involved? Okay, let's see what he does first. I think it's smart to see what he does first here. It's like I'm going to swing for... I think I did that backwards. I think I should have swung for 6 and then 7. That's okay. We'll swing for 7 first. See what he does. He's got 2 Dawn active because of the leader effect. He's going to 2K counter out of that. And then, okay, right here it looks like I'm actually just going to smash into the leader for 9, which you know, 4K is the magic number there because he probably has a 2-cost 4K counter in hand. I do -3 to the Sanji with the leader plus the stage, pop it with Kaku. And again, it's like, yeah, you know, I know it seems like I'm just throwing away characters. I don't care about them. You know what I mean? That's the way you're supposed to play around Doflamingo in this list. It is what it is. Okay, let's see what he does here. He is on a 10 Dawn turn, so he can lock me down. Okay, he doesn't. I was going to say he can lock me down with a Doflamingo if he has in hand. He might not have it in hand. This new Charlotte Linlin 9-cost card is extremely good, guys. It is extremely good. He just gained a life, established a 9K body, pushed one of my characters back, went backwards and Dawn by 1, so his Birdcage is still active. Just really, really good stuff. Excuse me. Okay, so we're going to Tempest Kick here to -3 to the Linlin, -2 more, -1 more with my leader effect. And now I'm going to try and pop it with a Gecko Moria plus whatever I pull out. So it looks like it's going to be Rebecca, Helmeppo, Rebecca grabs back Brooke. I got to click the Brooke first. There we go. I didn't click Brooke. Do that. And again, hey, my Brooke's just going to die now, right? Because of Birdcage. Who cares? I just simply don't care. You know what I mean? He even attacked into it there. He even attacked into it. That had to have been a play mistake unless he's trying to keep me off cards. But whatever. It's fine. Locks me down. Then it clears. That's fine. I'm not worried whatsoever about that Doflamingo right now. Okay, he's probably going to punk Gibson this turn. Like, that's definitely the right play here to lock down, like, my blocker. Because I'm going to swing 9, right? Like, 9's coming in. I can't decide if I want to go 9 or more into the leader. Because what is my follow-up play here? I cannot remove the Gecko. Excuse me, not the Gecko. I cannot remove the Doflamingo. But, you know, oh well. Okay, like we said, he used punk Gibson even though he took life there. I don't think that was the right play. But, hey, that's fine. Do what you got to do. All right, looking back, I probably shouldn't have got rid of that Spandam. I probably should have got rid of the Helmeppo and then like a 2K counter. But instead, I keep the Helmeppo in case I want to try to take out the Doflamingo next turn. That's the logic there. But whatever the case is, I probably should have played out the Spandam just to fill out the board to force more cards out of his hand. But if he has another Birdcage, then that doesn't really help me. Okay, 12 into 9. Okay, I'm not letting him have that. I do go up to 13. I'm not going to let him have that. If he tries to swing in now, I'm going to block. Because at this point in the game, just bigger's better, right? Like I need my Gecko Morius. I need my Gecko out there. I have a Sabo in hand. I think next turn I'm going to try to pop his board with Sabo. Okay. Swing 9 into that. I'm like, okay, you can have my Rebecca. I don't know if that was a misclick or what. But I guess if I untap with that Rebecca, then it's for sure over. Okay, he does counter out here. So I play it the safe way, if I'm not mistaken. And that's one thing I noticed about playing Lucci. You're not in a rush. Like, why would I go for game here? Like notice he left 2 open. Why go for game here? I'm just going to -2, -3, and now I'm going to bust his whole board with a Sabo. I'm going to crack his entire board with a Sabo here. Boom, that's gone. Your turn. I'm not even going to attack in, so he can't rest down one of my characters. Like, you're not resting my characters down. You're not doing anything. Swing for 5. He wants me to block so he can drop Birdcage. It's not happening, or even Doflamingo. Now, it is absolutely over. Swing 9. Takes it, and now swing 16 with Sabo. GG. All right, good stuff there. You know, that was a fun one. I do think that Doflamingo is a very good deck. I think there were a few things my opponent could have done differently there. Like, playing out the Sugar that early just didn't seem like the right play to me personally. I don't know. You guys know what y'all think in the comment section below. All right, let's go ahead and check out the deck list, guys. This is the list that I'm running for OP07. This is like I took off the leader so it fits perfectly on 2 rows. I'm only running 3 in these lobbies right now, but I want to go up to 4. Oh, let me move my face. There we go. Okay. I'm only running 3 in these lobbies, but I'd like to go up to 4. Okay, but I like having 2 Helmeppos. I don't want to go down to 1 in case I really need... I want 1 in my trash a game, right? Helmeppo was just too powerful with the Gecko Moria plus Rebecca plus Brook combo. I'm running 4 Brooks. I could probably go down 1 Brook, potentially. But I just like being able to remove a character every single turn, guys. I'm not going to lie. Like, I think Brook... Because, like, 3 Dawn into 5 Dawn, like, this little combination of cards here, it's really 3, 4, 5, right? Because we have the Lucci as well. Brook, Lucci, and Kaku, they just bully the early game. They're able to completely bully the early game. And then Gecko Moria, it just helps you close it out. I mean, I really want to keep the Ishos in against the matchups, like maybe against Bonnie, maybe against Enel. But Isho has been feeling like it's been feeling a little bit weak in this deck. But that is, like I said, because there's not a ton of Bonnies and Enels just like raiding the ladder right now. They're very meticulous decks to play, so sometimes they're avoided. Same thing with like Red, Purple, Law, and Black, Yellow, Luffy. I feel like I don't ever see those on the ladder anymore. They pop up every now and then, but it's very rare. Spandam is nice, or Spandine is very nice for bringing back cards from the trash. It's extremely important so that you don't deck yourself out. Because guys, every one of those games we just saw, I was probably down to like either single digit or like teen digit, you know, like in the teens for numbers left or for cards left in my deck. Tempest Kick we already know about. 2K counters, I'm running 4 Khalifa, 4 Kaku, and 2 Suru. I'm running 2 of the Sabos, which is just a perfect combination with Rebecca for just like, it's like the perfect 9 Dawn defensive play. And then everything else is straightforward, guys. Like, I feel like this is basically the list. The only thing that, at least for the stage version of Lucci. If you don't want to run the stage version, well, that opens you up to something like, you could just replace the stages with something like, I would replace the stage with like, what's her name? Stussy. And then I would replace the Brooks with something else. I'd probably replace the Brooks with, maybe keep 2 of them, and then with the other two, maybe go up to 2K counters or something along those lines. Oh, one card before I forget, because I know I mentioned it in the intro when we were talking about the Lucci decks earlier. This is Zombie Luffy. For if you're trying to play against, if you're trying to play to be able to beat Black Yellow Luffy, notice I don't have any Black Yellow Luffy tech in my deck list. If you know there are Luffy players, Black Yellow Luffy players, in your locals or at a regional you're going to or whatever, this is a very strong option. And it takes it takes the same spot as Brook. So let me just bring them both up real quick. I just want to put them, hang on, it won't let me, because I don't have Lucci on here. Hang on one second, guys. Give me just a second. Let me let the black cards load in. Okay. See if it loads in. And we're there. Okay. Here's Lucci. So now it will let me put in extra cards. Let me bring up Luffy. This card right here and this card are your best options against Black Yellow Luffy. So notice the difference though. This is a 6-cost 6K that pops as on play. On play, it pops a 4 or less, and it doesn't KO it. It trashes it. Okay? However, this card does not have a counter, and that is relevant. Okay? That does hurt a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Luffy, on the other hand, has a counter, but it's a 5-cost 6K that has a win attacking effect to trash a 2 or less. The effect at the bottom there is not super relevant. I'm not even going to read it. Pause and read it if you want to know what it does. It's never worth doing unless it's to win the game or something. That's not why this card's in the deck, right? This card is in the deck to get rid of the 5-cost characters. And I guess, you know, if you're swinging for game, you can actually get that effect off to good effect. What else, though? That's really it, guys. It's going to come down to, if you know at your locals there's going to be a lot of Black Yellow Luffy decks, you need to pick and choose between Brook and between Luffy. And at that point, it does become like, okay, I don't. It just feels so bad because I feel like you have to go down the stage and down the Brook to go up these cards right here, but maybe not. I guess you could go down like one Kaku, go down one Brook, and then go up 2 of your choice between Brooks and Luffy. It's really up to you. Like, here's what I'm trying to say. Like, go down one Brook, go down one Kaku. Let me move the leader so I can do this. And go up like to 2 of these Luffys here. You see what I'm saying? Let me bring Luffy back up. This is probably what I would run if you're set on running the stage, which is what I am set on running the stage, by the way. That's why I mentioned that. I'm set on running the stage. So if I were running the stage and I was going to a big tournament or a tournament where I know there's a lot of very strong, competent Black Yellow Luffy players, then I'm probably going to go this route right here. Because let me put the leader back in. Okay, there we go. This is just a good way to go. Now, if you're not running the stage, that changes everything. I think at that point, I think you, like, say you go down to like 1 or 2 stages where it's just not as important. Then I think you try out the Brook. Then I think you actually go like maybe 3 Brooks. And then you got spot for 1 more card in here. Maybe we do just go up another of these. Or actually, we go up the stage. Sorry, guys, I'm just kind of talking out, thinking out loud right now. Go up 1 more stage. Like, this is probably an option as well if you're trying to run the Brook and you just don't care for the stage. But I'm going to be honest, guys. Actually, sorry, that does change things. What I would probably do in this case, I would go back down. Maybe you just completely get rid of the stage, actually, at that point. Because you saw one of the lists was only running 1 stage. And then at that point, you can go the 6 King pistol as like a 2 of. Yeah. All right, so hear me out, guys. This is what I would run if I was not trying to run the stage. Like, if you don't like the stage version, I would probably be running something very close to this, if not literally exactly this. But if you're trying to run the stage version, I would go this, where you got the stage, you've got your Brooks. Oh, and then I did move some stuff around. Move the 2 Brooks out, move the Kaku out, and then move the Luffys in. There we go. That's kind of the only difference I'd make. And the reason I only run 2 of these Luffys is because it either sticks or it doesn't. You see what I'm saying? It sticks or it doesn't. You already have plenty of removal already built in because of the stage with your Brooks and everything. So, like, your removal's fine as is. Whereas if you're not running the stage, I think you need to go up to 3 Brooks because you don't have the stage to assist you to get things you need to get. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. Right, that's it for the OP07 stuff. Let me give you guys a glimpse into OP08, what I recommend running. There we go. This is what I recommend for OP08. Again, we've got Who's Who, which is former CP, which is searchable by Spandam. Someone correct me in the comment section below if I'm off on that, but I'm like 99% sure if all the translations I looked at are correct, this looks for a card with CP in its types and it's in quotations, so it can actually grab Who's Who, which is incredible, right? Because now you can get Khalifa, you can get Kaku, or Who's Who for your 2K counters. You can get any of the 10 2K counters with Spandam in the list that I'm running. You can also get 6 King Pistol. It's just really nice. And notice in this list I'm running just a single Spandine. This is for just in case I start decking myself out of the game with a leader effect. I'm only running 2 Jacks. I know a lot of lists are running 4, but I still like running the big boy Sabo and the small one. The 5-cost and 8-cost Sabo, I'm a big fan of those. 3-cost Brook, 5-cost Kaku. I think these are strong. Spandam, of course. 2 Helmeppos, because I just think that combination is so good. I think the Gecko into Rebecca, into Helmeppo, Rebecca pulling back Brook. I think it's just too good when your leader is Lucci and you're running the Innies Lobby plus Tempest Kicks. I just think it's too good to pass up on, and it's what I basically pop everything on the board with. It just becomes too consistent. And because it hits like right at a 4 very easily with -1 here, -2 here, -1 here, you're going to be able to pop their, if you're going against Red Purple Law, you're going to be able to very consistently pop cards like that. Now, yes, they can bottom deck it. That's how the game works, right? It is what it is. And that would make you kind of want to go up to 4 of them, but then you also have your Kakus as well to hit them with. It is what it is. Guys, I don't know how to explain it. And then eventually you want to get to Jacks, so you're popping cards every single turn as well with that as well. Who's Who can pop quite a bit in this deck. I mean, this can pop their 5-cost characters if you have the stage down in the leader, right? Because it can pop a 6-cost character. It can even pop Sabo if you have it on the stage and the leader. Establish a 5K. You pop one of their characters. It's just really good. Okay, we got Lucci in here as a 3 of. I think a lot of people want this card as a 4 of. I do too, but I can't fit it in with this version of the deck, guys. At least I can't personally. If you guys think of something, by all means, hit me up in the comment section below talking about it. But this is what I'm thinking, guys. This is the direction I'm leaning. Now this is another deck that I have not teched for Black Yellow Luffy. However, I don't know if Black Yellow Luffy will be as prevalent in OP08. It might be. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. But if it is, then you do have to make some revisions here. And the revisions I would probably make, maybe you do have to go down, like maybe down 1 Innies Lobby. Man, you might have to go down the Sabos, which I don't like. I think this card is so good, guys. Popping 2 characters that easily is crazy. It's just crazy, right? But okay, we can go down 1 6 King Pistol, go down to 2 of those, and then go up, let's go back to that Luffy. Maybe throw these 2 in right here. This is one option you could do, or put in the Brooks if you want to. However you want to do it. And Brook is not too bad in this list either because we're already running the 6 King Pistol. So this might be the way to go as like the final tech solution for what we're trying to do. I don't know. We got a lot of brainstorming to do. We got a lot of theory crafting. You guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. I'm done rambling about this. I've been rambling for too long. All right, let's go over to the art critique, guys. Again, if you guys have any comments, questions, suggestions, please help me out in the comment section below if I missed something, if I missaid something. I'm never trying to mislead people or misinform people. Y'all help me out. All right, let's go over to the art critique. Okay, we got a spicy one today, guys. We've got a spicy one here because the composition is very, very interesting. Let me go ahead and bust out the line tool here. We got some stuff going on right here I want to talk about right away, especially to educate the Western audience on something going on here. Okay, so notice right here from this hand to this hand, we got this. And then we also have going the other way. Let me stamp this and push it the other way, boop, like that. And move this hand to there and that to there. I didn't make it 3D, so I won't be able to manipulate it later, but that's okay. So we have like an X shape, but if you follow the hands, it's a little more than an X shape, and I think a lot of Western audience members might be confused by that and maybe even offended. You never know, and that's not the intent. But here's the thing, this composition does have a pattern that many would call a swastika, right? That's like a bad word in Western culture. However, I just want to show you guys something. Everywhere else in the world, it's not a bad word, okay? And we'll talk about that in a second. Like, notice this YouTube right here. It's literally, now it is facing the other direction, but this is as part of their logo, right? This is part of their name, and it doesn't mean anything awful. And the same thing with this composition we're looking at. It's not intended to be that way. But you see how the hands are facing? Look, this one's facing this way, this one's facing this way, this one's facing this way, this one's facing the other direction to avoid any confusion like we're saying. But there's still some subliminal messaging there. You have to understand, again, this is more geared towards the Western audience. This symbol is thousands of years old and is not restricted to World War II history. Okay, what was used in Germany, I think they referred to it as the Hakenkreuz, that is not just the only definition of this symbol, okay? It dates back thousands of years, okay? So I know this seems like a very risky topic to talk about, guys, but it's not. We're not trying to get into any kind of crazy World War II shenanigans right now. We're not going down that path. But the composition does. The composition does, explore. It kind of flirts with this idea. Again, because of the direction of the hands, it does have a certain symbol, okay? But again, don't get caught up on that. It has nothing to do with any kind of bad messaging. This is a very, very famous, or not famous, that's not a good word for it. It's a very popular symbol, okay, that was nearly ruined by certain events. Okay. Otherwise, though, look, and they actually repeat the process. That's how you know. That's when you know it's deliberate, right? It's it's intentional. You got one facing this and one going this way, and then let's also stamp it, switch it around, and you got one facing this way as well. See it here? Really good stuff here, guys. Really cool stuff. And then all around it, let me bust out like a light green, maybe. Whoops, brushes. Let me get the marker tool out. Green. Check this out here, guys. Let me increase the thickness as well. Like, look what's going on here with all this like flowiness going on. Really cool stuff, bringing the whole piece together, showing she's in full control of the elements around her or whatever her special power is. It does break up the plane a little bit, and she has one of the most iconic symbols you can really get when it comes to compositions, and it is the triangle. The triangle is so powerful, guys. Look at this triangle. Just incredible, okay? Whoops. I accidentally clicked off of it, lost it. That's okay. You see the triangle here, and then again, the triangle basically ends. I have to redo it. I didn't mean to get off the triangle there. Okay. Let me make it 3D so I don't lose it now. So here's like the little triangle, right? And look where it ends. Look where the triangle ends, guys. Really cool stuff here. All right. Right where this is. And we will go 3D with this one. But let me change the color of it to like maybe a... No, that doesn't look good. Let me try a green. Or a blue. Blue would probably pop really well. Nice. Blue looks really good. Okay, so we make it 3D. And now we'll do another one going the other direction. And then we'll fix it. And you'll see right here what happened. It didn't pull. There we go. Okay. Now we'll make it 3D. And look what we got here, guys. We've got one... it basically... The X's end at where the triangle ends, and then we have a whole other composition up here, and it splits the page into 4 different directions. Just really awesome stuff here. And one thing I want to mention as well is the shadows. This one, I think the last one that I did was Kazuki Oden. The last art critique I did was Kazuki Oden. And they did a really cool shading technique over, it was almost like a filter that they used to put a gloss over the entire piece. Almost like a stained look. But in this one, they're going, and there was like no shadows though. Sorry, I didn't finish my thought. The thing about the Kazuki Oden one is there was almost no shadows in the entire piece, which was actually kind of interesting in and of itself. But with Nico Robin here, look at this, guys. You got the shadow. The hat is just barely covering the eyes, giving her that very secret, that very mysterious thing. Like, you can't see my eyes. It's shaded. And the background looks really good in this one, I have to say, guys. Like, look at the palm trees. Look at, like, the Aladdin-style castles back here. It just looks incredible. It looks absolutely incredible. Good stuff. All right, that's it, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed that. That was a fun one. That was a more risky art critique, right? But hopefully people got some kind of education from that. Because, like I said, in the West, a certain symbol that you might see right here, a certain symbol is really demonized. And I understand the context behind it, but what I'm trying to say is, me being a history guy, I like to talk about the historical context of certain symbols. Symbology is an extremely important study when it comes to art and art history, so we did at least have to talk about that a little bit, like I said, to educate anyone in the audience who did not know better. All right, well, that's it, guys. Thank you all so much for stopping by. If you guys have any comments, questions, suggestions, always, never be afraid to hit me up in the comment section below, or hop on the Discord. Big shout out to all the VV Pirates playmat supporters. Thank you guys so much for helping me out in the ways y'all do. I know a lot of people have gotten their mats in. They've been saying good things about it. I'm very stoked to hear that. Very happy to hear that. And I'm happy to see them too when they show the pictures in the Discord. Then one more page here, the Patreon page, VV Pirates Patreon page. Thank you guys so much for helping me out in the ways y'all do. It means the world to me, guys. It really does. I really do appreciate it. And thank you to everybody watching, everyone listening, everyone, subscribing, everyone sharing, liking, commenting, everything. Everything helps me out, guys. It all helps with the algorithm, making the channel grow, and the channel's been doing really well, and I really appreciate you guys helping me out there. All right. Please don't forget to like and subscribe on this video, and until next time, peace.